Now that we've become familiar with the different tools, we're going to start making the lid for this box. The first thing that we're going to use is actually the measuring tool. You can measure from the inner or the outer, but the purpose is to actually grab this distance and figure out how big that is, that green line. So that's 3 inches and 3/8. So I'd like you guys to actually write that down. Now that we have that distance, we want to create another construction line, which is what the measuring tool does, which is that dotted line, so we know how big that is. Now we have to measure from left to right to find out how big this lid is going to be. And it's 6 inches. Now that we know exactly how big this lid has to be, we have to draw it out again. So I prefer to go off of the reference lines that I've already made, which are these two, and create the box on this. I try to keep it a certain distance away to make it easier when I'm making it a component. So as long as you run it to this point, it'll know to automatically snap. So that means it just automatically runs along that line, and you just release. And here we're going to type in the exact size that it is. So it's 3 3/8 of an inch, comma, 6 inches. Let's see what that looked like. Alright, so that's the wrong direction. So we're going to try that again. We're going to start off with 6 inches, comma, 3 space 3/8 inches. And that's the right size. So now that we have this exact size, we can measure that distance just to make sure. We are zooming in to get a better look at it, and now we're going to push it up. This is going to push up an inch. In comparison, that looks pretty thick, so what we're going to do is actually push it down 1/2 inch. And we want to make a lip for it so that when it sits right on top of this box right here, it'll have something for you to grab onto to open it. And also leaving a space right here for the hinges that we'll be doing in class later on this week. So you want to go to the push tool and push out 1 inch. Which is a good lip for someone to grab onto. Next, what we're going to do is make these into components. So the way you do this is you actually click the arrow tool, you make a box, so you click here and you'll see this box forming, and you just want to highlight what's on the inside. And everything will light in blue so you know what you're highlighting, and then you're going to right click on your mouse, go to make component. What you do is you type in your name, you do an underscore, and you type in lid. Perfect. Now we're going to rotate to get a better view of the box so that we don't accidentally highlight our lid. This is the best angle, I think. And then what you do is you go like this. Sometimes it's a little hard, so what we can do is rotate the other direction so we get a singular view of it. Let me try again. There you go. Don't be afraid to explore and see if you can get a better angle. So you right click again, make component, name it your name underscore box. Create. So this allows it for each piece to be treated as separately. so that there's no confusion and your pieces don't fuse together when you print it out on a 3D printer. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pick an edge. We're going to use our move tool, which is this one right here. We're going to zoom in. Wait till you get a point called endpoint component. Because this one's highlighted in blue, it thinks I'm actually talking about the box. So the easiest way to get out of this type of situation is to actually press escape. And then go to your arrow tool, click the component you want, use your move tool, drag it over, and line it up. As you can see, my line's actually on the other side, so I'm going to release, go over to this corner, and drag it over to that corner. By rotating, I can get a better angle view of what I'm trying to see. So this is what you should end up with. And you just release. You can actually see the lip right there. And this is actually what you'll be grabbing onto when you're opening the box, and this right here is where we're going to be making our hinges. So this is a complete box without its legs yet, but we'll be getting to that next class as well. So the next thing we do is press save. Give it a name. And we're all set. See you next class.